Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan, and I have a confession to make. I've been debating on when I should come out with this video, when I should face the facts and admit the truth and be honest with myself. And I figured now's as good a time as any to confess that in terms of a hobby, I'm an old fogey. And for those of you who are not familiar with the term old fogey, an old fogey is a derogatory term often used to refer to older or elderly people who no longer act in current socially acceptable ways or who are not aware of what is hip, but instead who are out of touch with contemporary thought and activities. So, what does that mean in terms of the hobby? No, I'm not talking about my age, which, yes, next year I'm going to be turning the big 50, but no, not my age. It's modern cards. Modern cards just don't do it for me anymore. Now, with that said, I'm still going to collect Wade Boggs cards, and I'm going to collect his newer cards as new stuff is released. I'm going to add that to my collection, but it's because it's Wade Boggs. Everything else, I'm not going to say I'm never, ever going to be buying modern cards. I may look to get a complete set since I have a sort of a run going for complete sets. What I'm talking about is buying modern cards, buying new packs to rip open. I'm just not into modern cards, and I have to come to that realization. This is not meant to be a rant video, by the way. Just my random thoughts, and I didn't jot anything down here, so forgive me if I just start rambling, but I feel that I needed to get this off my chest and again face the facts that modern sports cards just don't do it for me anymore. Some of the reasons being parallels. I'm just tired of all the various parallels. You have your color parallels, you have your pattern parallels, you have this parallel and that parallel. Serial numbered cards. I know with collecting Boggs now, I mean, some of this newer stuff, you'll be lucky to have a card serial numbered out of 25. Ooh. And then everything else is out of 10 or 5 or 1. It's a manufactured scarcity. I think it's overused, but again, I don't want this to turn into a rant. This is my confession of me being more interested in vintage cards. Today, it's all about the hits. It's opening packs and see what big hit you could get. You know, unless you're a team collector or specific player collector and are looking for cards of your team or your player, you go through the packs. I've seen so many videos. You go through the packs. I've done it myself. I've opened newer packs. I've gone through. I don't know who half these players are. I don't follow the game as much as I used to, and that's another factor. I'm sort of out of touch with the current game. I follow it generally, but again, not as I'm not watching multiple games. I follow how the Red Sox and Mets are doing based on the box scores and stuff. I'm not even sure if I've watched a single Major League Baseball game this year on TV. I got other things going on in my life that is just not as important, so I'm not as up on the modern players. So I'm opening these packs and looking through, and I go, I don't know if he's good. I don't know him. I know this one player. Hey, great. Um, it's just not something that has my interest anymore. Um, Getting back to the hits again. Now this is going to show my age, but I remember a time where you'd open a pack of cards. There were no such thing as inserts or parallels, and the big hits were getting a base card of the star player or maybe even a rookie of that time period. And that was your big hit, a base card of Kirby Puckett, Don Mattingly, Wade Boggs, all right, Roger Clemens, you name it. The base card, that was your big hit in a pack. And you were happy with it. I was happy with it. Now, obviously, times change, which means, again, getting back to the definition of an old fogey, while I feel that that's me, I'm slowly coming to terms with it. And I'm okay with that. I enjoy collecting vintage cards. I enjoy collecting cards of Hall of Famers, graded copies, my choice. And I am quite happy with a card that may be slightly off-centered, couple ding corners, the back may be off, it's not a perfect card. Heaven forbid you buy a modern card, whether you get it on eBay and you get it in the mail, and heaven forbid a corner's dinged, or you open up a pack and it's off-centered. It's not going to grade a PSA 10. So many channels these days, the modern hobby, it seems to be more about the money. What's the card market doing? That doesn't really interest me. To me, vintage cards are more of the hobby, in my opinion. Yes, I'm sure maybe some people tried to flip vintage cards, and maybe you could have done that with the craziness that happened last year. But all that stuff that's going on, all the flipping and worrying about where prices are going. Oh, modern cards are taking a 50% hit. What are we going to do? Some people commenting, it doesn't make sense to go to the National because as a investor flipper, it doesn't make sense for me business-wise to do that. And I can see why. Okay, it makes sense. If you're spending all that money to go and your intent is to buy low and sell high, you're already in the hole. I get the concept. But for me, the National is about the hobby. It's about networking. It's about friends. It's about telling card stories, looking at awesome cards that are going to be for sale at the National, and wish you had a bank account large enough to buy some of those cards. I don't know. To me, the modern card market has lost the hobby tied to it, and it's coming more of a business. I don't want to say a pure business, but buying, selling, hopefully making money, recouping losses that you may have. Whereas for me, I'm a collector. I've always been a collector. And modern cards, again, I'll collect the Boggs cards. I'm not getting away from collecting newer Boggs cards. All right. But just in general, to me, vintage is becoming, in my mind, more of the hobby and how it used to be. Again, that old fogey designation versus modern cards. So I guess that's all I have to say at this point. I felt that I needed to announce to everyone, be true to myself, and let you know that, yes, when it comes to the hobby, I am an old fogey. And I'm fine with that. So, with that said, let me know what you think. Am I an old fogey? Am I, I don't know. Just, I hope you didn't take this as a rant. It wasn't meant to be. For those that enjoy modern cards, the parallels, the serial numbered cards, buying, selling, flipping, whatever, that's great. If you are into the modern game and know all the players, that's wonderful. That's great. Enjoy your section of the hobby. But for me, yep, it's going to be Boggs and Vintage. So I'd be interested to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. That's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.